一匹狼のアウトロー森当さん世界一の女性ドリラーアンナ・オッテンマイヤーさん
Good morning, human beings, or good evening if you are on the other side of the planet. I'm Jeremy Parrish, and this is a Famicoffee stream. It's like Gentendo, but it's in the morning, and I'm drinking coffee instead of gin because I'm not some sort of alcoholic, which is good. So, yeah, let me get everything situated here. This is kind of impromptu and thrown together at the last second, but I was really frustrated that I could not stream Mr. Driller last night, and then I got it working against all odds. So, rather than wait a week, I am doing it now. So it looks like there is actually no one watching. But, oh, there we go. Hello. Someone is watching. And it looks like there are people on the other side of the world watching, based on some of the comments I'm already seeing. So, hello and welcome. I am Jeremy Parrish, and this is the 7th ever Famicoffee stream. It's the first one in about 3 years, and the last one I did was, in fact, Super Mario Sunshine, which was the last time my GameCube worked. So it seems appropriate to reinitiate, welcome my GameCube back into the world with a Famicoffee stream. Anyway, so I'm playing Mr.DrillerDrillLand, which is a lovely video game made by Namco, back before it was Bandai Namco. And, yeah, it's arguably, by which I mean I will go to the mats to say, it is the finest game in the Mr. Driller series. It is kind of the synthesis of everything that the series is about. And if you are not familiar with the series, you should be. This will be a great way to introduce you. But this game is actually getting a modern-day remake, a port to Switch that will be fully translated. Mega Man Reggae says, is this Dig Dug? It is not Dig Dug, but that is Dig Dug there on the title screen. Oops, I keep missing the start button here. Okay, let's stop watching this intro loop. Anyway, so this is like the 4th or 5th game in the Mr. Driller series. And basically, Mr. Driller is so popular and so beloved now that they've created a theme park around the character. So this game takes place entirely in that theme park, but there are evil people who want to take over the theme park, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, this game on GameCube is only in Japanese. Excuse me. It was never released in the US. That's why the Switch remake is exciting, because it will finally be available in the West in English. And there's actually a lot of text here. You saw me skip past some shady people talking, and that's all in Japanese. But those are the villains. Anyway, so basically here you have a set of mini-games, not mini-games, but different events based around the Mr. Driller concept, which, if you're not familiar with it, is basically like dig down into the earth, don't run out of air, don't get crushed. It's pretty simple, but this is it's very challenging. So yeah, the World Tour, World Drill Tour, is basically standard Mr. Driller. Star Driller is similar to standard Driller, but there are these dynamic elements that change up a lot. So you tend to get those star blocks that vanish and cause things to disappear, and things will turn into rocks, asteroids that can't be combined. Drill Town is just kind of a place where you can watch movies and buy trinkets. I'm not sure what good the trinkets are. Drindy Adventure stars Taizo Hori, the man formerly known as Dig Dug. And this one doesn't have a timer on it. It doesn't have air limits. Instead, you're trying to avoid traps in the Indiana Jones style. Horror Night House is one that I don't really remember how to play it. It's been a long time since I've actually played this game, because my GameCube's been out of action for a very long time, but obviously it has a spooky theme to it, and we'll have to explore it together. And then finally there is the Hole of Druaga, which is the inverse of the Tower of Druaga, and this adds an RPG element to the driller mechanics, and is a lot of fun. It's my favorite here. Not only is it steeped in Namco history, but also it's just, you know, different. So, yeah, let's, oh, and then the Dream and Parade is basically the credits. Let's go to the drill tour and play some standard driller. So if you're not familiar with how the game works, you can kind of get the baseline sense. Now this is the point at which the entire driller cast came together. The guy in the middle is Susumu Hori, Mr. Driller himself. The dog is Pochi, his talking pet. The girl on the right is Anna Hottenmeyer, the world's second greatest driller and Susumu's rival. The guy in gray is basically Mr. Driller's Racer X, that's his brother Ataru. And then the old dude with the mustache and beard, the goatee, that is formerly Dig Dug. It is Taizo Hori, that is Mr. Driller's dad. There is a whole universe here. Kissy from Baraduke, the old arcade game, is Mr. Driller's mom, and she and Dig Dug are divorced. There's a lot going on here. Anyway, there are 6 different characters you can play as. So each character has their own strengths and weaknesses. It has been a while since I have played this, so Mr. Driller himself is kind of the baseline, or Susumu. I feel like Anna's a little faster, but her air goes down faster. Ataru is, I can't remember, he's got some sort of issue. Anyway, the kind of oddball characters are Pochi, who can jump multiple blocks, and Horinger Z, who is a robot who can basically take being crushed once and he'll sacrifice part of his body to continue drilling. He's that determined to drill. Alright, looks like some people are complaining about the game audio again, so I'm going to bump up my microphone a little bit. Hopefully it will be loud enough. It looks like I'm more than loud enough. It's peaking in the red, but what do I know? And anyway, why would you complain about hearing the audio in this game? It's so good. This game has the best music. So, all right, I'm gonna be a baby and play as Horinger Z, just because it's early in the morning and I'm still working on coffee. But basically, this is you know, Puzzle Fighter, where you have the colored blocks and stuff. This is that. So when blocks fall and combine, if you get 4 of the same color block together, they will disappear. And when blocks are combined, you can delete multiple blocks at once. Uh-oh, look at that. If you drill through a brown block, you will lose air. And air is very important. You can already see poor Horinger Z's air is rapidly plummeting. But I'm going to get that air block over there. You can create combinations like this, and I don't know. I'm not a great person to talk about how to play this game. I'm not an expert by any means. I am okay at Mr. Driller, but only because I've played it a lot, and I don't have any real aptitude for it. I can usually beat at the 1,000-meter stages pretty easily, and every once in a while I'll be able to beat the 2,000-meter stages, but it's a tough series. There's a lot going on here. As you can see, you start creating these chain combinations, and you also have blocks like I just broke through, that kind of cake-looking thing that alright, yeah, sometimes it's good to just let gravity do its thing. But anyway, you have these different kinds of blocks, and you just want to drill down as far as possible. This one, this was a 500-meter game, so if I don't beat this on the stream, I will be shamed for all future generations of the Parish line. Oh, okay, well see, now you've seen what happens when Horinger Z takes damage. I wasn't fast enough and got crushed by my own hubris. But it's okay because he drills on. He is now a headless robot just boring into the earth. It's kind of grim. Oh, look at that, I've screwed myself over. So I just lost a whole bunch of air. Unfortunately, there was a capsule right next to it. And you have to be careful because you create these like uneven stacks of blocks up above you, and those can come back to haunt you several minutes later as chain reactions clear away things below, and blocks from above fall, and all of a sudden you're being crushed by something you totally forgot existed. You weren't paying any attention to it. Then every few stages you get one of these levels, which is just like a gimme. It's really difficult to lose on these levels, so it's a great opportunity to stock up your air. There are bonus points that you get if you drill perfectly and collect all air capsules. I am not good enough to do that, so it doesn't matter. But a lot of the strategy in this game comes down to not just not just avoiding blocks, but knowing how you can cause blocks to fall. Like I can stand here safely because that green block will get stuck with the one next to it. So those tactics are essential to survival in Mr. Driller. And you can clear out blocks like that to collect air capsules. Let's see. Sometimes you can cause air oh, oops. That was not what I meant to do. Anyway, someone's comparing this in the chat. I glanced over briefly upon my death to Medios, which is... there's some commonalities there. This game did come first, though. Not that it really matters. In video game, it's not who does it first, it's who does it best. There are many games that did things first that no one remembers because they weren't great. Oh, that was careless. After a while, sometimes it's just good to get the heck out of the dodge. Oh, no. And sometimes it's not good to go too quickly, because then you do things like that. But I just have to make it down another 100 meters, and I will have survived this, and my family will not be shamed. So, fingers crossed for the parishes. Will their son humiliate them? What was that? And like I said, the music in this game is so good. This is a parade of children singing about how great Mr. Driller is. Not just the game, but the character, Mr. Driller. He's saved the world many times from incursions of subterranean cakes that threaten to destroy the surface world. Anyway, now I've traveled down to apparently Noah's Ark or something. Yeah. Okay, so that's the basic gist of Mr. Driller. My mug is too large to drink coffee while I'm wearing a microphone. Because when I drink coffee, I'm serious about it. Anyway, there's some conversation here, and I don't really care about it. I will learn all about it once this game comes to English. Let's just skip it. Okay. So you can earn stamps and points and stuff because this is an amusement park, but we're not going to do that today. Alright, let's look at the Star Driller stage. Oh man, people are congratulating me for clearing the 500-meter stage with 1 life left. It's not a thing to brag about, folks, but thank you, you're very kind. Okay, so every stage has an introduction where they tell you about how to play, but whatever. it's always good to just bluff your way through. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, you can kind of get a sense of how this is working. It's pretty much the same thing as before, but a little different. You have, I don't know if you can break through those steel blocks. Let's see. Nope. Oh yeah, okay. Those are breakable, but you don't want to do that because then you lose air. And yeah, okay. What makes this different is the question blocks you see there. Those do zany things that make the game unpredictable. So it looks like I got something. Man, it's been a while since I played this. I don't remember exactly what that was. Oh, it looks like I slowed gravity, so blocks now fall more slowly. And it seems like that effect is already gone. I did not make the most of it. And that turned a whole bunch of blocks into stars that vanish on their own. Whoa. One thing that makes this game fun and interesting and exciting is that, you know, the blocks have kind of their own, not their own physics, but basically there's this a little bit of physics on them, where if you can manage to scramble out of the way just in the nick of time, you will avoid being crushed by falling objects. Oh, but you can also do that. And if you do manage to just barely squeak by, sometimes it'll land so closely that your character will fall over and stumble because of the nearness of the scrape. So it adds a little twist of adventure and excitement to the whole proceedings. Let's see what's in here. That, I don't know. Looks like I did something mysterious, something unknown. I guess I should have read the instructions. But anyway, this is, you know, again, a fairly standard take on Mr. Driller, just with some variables. Oh, now that's a good one. That gives me a protective bubble, so if something falls on me, I will be safe. Kind of like with Horinger Z, except my next life will not have the bubble protection. It goes away after one death, or one collision. Get some stuff, shall we? Yeah, sometimes you end up carrying segments of the game along with you. Oh no, that's nice. That blew up everything on the screen. But yeah, there's a tendency for you to play this game and just like carry huge chunks of blocks along with you that come into play, especially in the later stages where air capsules are surrounded by indestructible blocks, or rather blocks you don't want to destroy because they'll destroy more air than they actually give you. So you end up developing these weird arcane strategies where you're trying to basically game the system. Oh, it looks like my bubble went away. That's very disappointing. Some of the ideas that you see here are explored in greater depth than some of the other nodes, and you're given more kind of direct control over the way things work. So I'm looking forward to playing those. The ones where you basically have all the time you need and have inventory items that you can use, those are great. I really like those. They take away the anxiety of the basic driller mode and become more strategic, more tactical. Oops, I messed up. Oh, it looks like one of the items I got gave me an extension on my my overall air. No longer, and instead of having 100% air, you can see the meter ticking down on the right, the circular thing that says 85 right now. Instead of having 100 health, I now have 115 max. Although my air is going down quickly. Although that doesn't matter because I just gathered a full air recharge power-up. And it looks like I'm trapped here, but I'm not, because that one fell and cleared out the indestructible blocks. So this is, again, I just need to make it to 500 meters, so I just got one more of these stage areas to clear, and I'm free to go. I'm playing with a little more confidence now, or competence maybe would be the better word. And I just created a black hole. Always delightful. I just summoned a comet, apparently, that blew up a whole bunch of rocks. So yeah, there's some sort of unpredictable elements to this stage, this format, that makes it a bit more dynamic. Whoa! Wow! That was... I should not have survived that. That was just pure dumb luck. Uh-oh, Susumu is running out of air, so I'm gonna zip on down to the bottom. I think I can make it in time. Yes, he's gonna survive, but just barely. Alright. I beat the game, and almost suffocated in the process. Okay. Good times. So I got my clear stamp. Very exciting. I got my cutscene. Not so exciting. And we're going to move along. So I'm going to pay attention to the stream again. Oh look, there's more people watching. Hello, if you're just joining, I'm Jeremy Parrish. This is a Famicoffee stream. It's like Gentendo, but again, there's no Gen because it is 8:30 in the morning for me, and that's just not a healthy way to live. So instead I've got a big old tub of coffee here. At some point this thing ceased to be a mug and became a tub. And yes, it's a lot of caffeine, which is kind of what you need to be able to succeed in Mr. Driller. But anyway, I've moved along to the Drindy Adventure mode, where good old Dig Dug here, who's clearly a smart man, tries to drill through ancient temples and avoid rolling boulders. This one's always a little tricky. It's been a while since I've played this, so you'll have to forgive me if I make horrible mistakes, but that's part of the Mr. Driller experience. Look at that little hat he's got. It's so great. So as you can see, I don't have an air meter in this. Where it would normally have air, it's a life meter. And there's no time pressure in this one. So it does become much more tactical. There's no concern about how quickly you're drilling. You want to collect all these gold icons of the little underground people that you save throughout the other games. And here we see our first little challenge. Whoops. Whoa, better move. Those boulders will roll around, and every time they hit a wall, they will crack. But if you are not careful, they will roll into you. And so you really have to kind of judge what you're doing here. Like, yeah, oops, this is going to be bad. Oh, okay. So it looks like oh, that's right, the blocks don't disappear when they combine. So you do have a little more strategy involved. Oops. When a boulder falls into a pit like this, where it's just a recess, it won't roll around. There has to be a gap next to it for it to get the momentum to roll. So that's good to know. But then you have spaces like this over here, where basically you can set that thing rolling, and it will destroy itself. But if I had gone over here first and tried to get this icon, this idol, the boulder would have rolled over me and crushed me and killed me, which is not the point of the game. So as you play further into this, you have to start kind of looking at the way the blocks are arranged and what kind of hazard you're creating for yourself, and try to avoid an untimely death. And as with the other modes, you have to be careful because these boulders stick around, and as you clear out blocks beneath them, they will fall and they will crush you, and they will come from out of nowhere, and surprise, you're suddenly dead. Like, for example, if I do this, that'll start rolling. Yep. And you also have to be careful because the boulders, if you're standing, say, on a block like this red block, and the boulder was in that channel of yellow blocks and it was rolling back and forth, it'll actually crush the block that you're standing on and then crush you. So you really have to kind of pay attention to what you're doing in this mode. And then finally, here is a place where the boulder is going to roll at me as soon as I get the idol, but since I'm at the end of this section, it's fine. The boulder cannot hurt me. I'm safe from the boulder. So, if you're just joining, this is Mr.DrillerDrillLand, the finest of all Mr. Driller games, which, until this year, has been a Japan-only GameCube exclusive, but it is coming to Switch in a couple of months. Actually, next month, I think. I think it's in June, which is very exciting, because not only is it coming to Switch, but it's coming to Switch in America, in English. I believe that has been announced, yes, I believe that's the case. So, that's good, unless I'm hallucinating and just making things up, but yeah, it means we can finally play this extremely good Mr. Driller game in a language that those of us mostly on this stream are conversant with, as opposed to Japanese, which some of us are probably conversant with. I'm not conversant. I can stumble my way through a little bit of it. But yeah, so I'll be excited to finally be able to really enjoy this game in its entirety, as opposed to just the gameplay parts. Alright, so here's another one starting to get trickier. That boulder is going to roll over there. Okay, it doesn't have enough momentum to crush the red block, so that kept a weird chain reaction from happening. So we're good. Alright, this one's a little more of a challenge because when I take away these blue blocks, the boulder is going to start rolling haphazardly. So I'm going to give myself some clearance here. Yeah, see? It smashes up blocks, so you have to really be careful, because you can find yourself thinking you're safe, and then all of a sudden you're not. And no one likes that. Alright, I'm going to stand way over here and let gravity take its course. Oh, well, that didn't do me any good. That does me good. Now I can let that guy fall, land safely, and crush it. Alright, what's the best way to go about this? I think clear that. Oh, okay, I rolled left. I'm never really sure which way the boulders are going to roll. That's the one part that vexes me about this game. Or about this mode. This, if you're just joining, this is Mr. DrillerDrillLand's Drindy Adventure, where you play as Dig Dug, pretending he's Indiana Jones. And that, it could be very dangerous. Alright, now I'm safe. See, those boulders can set off chain reactions and all kinds of chaos and haphazardness. It's very dangerous. So this version of Mr. Driller has a lot of alternate modes, as you can see here, that were not in any other Mr. Driller game. The closest that we ever got in the US was the DSiWare game, Mr. Driller Drill Till You Drop, which didn't have quite all of these modes in it, but did have a lot of the sort of exploratory adventure sections that you see in this game, and Mr. Driller Ace, which was a Japan-only Game Boy Advance game. We kind of got the short end of the stick. Like even the DS game that was officially released, oh no, in English. Oh, very sad. Goodbye, Drindy. Alright, so I'm down one life. Anyway, the DS game that came out at the DS's launch, the American version of the game actually omitted a bunch of content. I don't know if they were just rushing to get it out at launch, or if they just didn't think that we care, but they deleted the RPG mode, so it was like half a game. And I remember reviewing that for 1UP.com or GMR Magazine, and at first being like, hey, yeah, this is fun, I like Mr. Driller, and then discovering the import version of the game, which came out a little later, was much more fully featured. Oh, here we go. Now we've got some more esoteric traps. I believe those things will shoot out spikes if you are one space below them directly. So you gotta be careful. Now, Now I've got those and the boulders to worry about, so things are starting to get serious. I will set the boulder free and let it do its thing. Destroy yourself, my little friend. Okay, yeah, so here's a place where when I drop down and get that statue, the block on the left will shoot out spikes at me, and then I have to dash to the right before that happens, and the block on the right will also shoot out spikes at me, so you gotta be careful. This is very Spelunky-ish. Good times. La Mulana-ish. Whoop. There's another one where I have to grab the idol and go. So yeah, because you know you're sort of taking a more strategic approach when it comes to the boulders, but you can't really take a strategic approach with those spike traps because they make you rush. So it's easy to get kind of panicked because of the spike traps, and then get sloppy and not pay attention to the boulders. Anyway, this is probably not the Dig Dug sequel that most people expected, but I like it. And of course there was a game for DS called Mr. Driller Digging Strike that is basically a combination of Mr. Driller and Dig Dug 2, which is pretty fun. It's not like an amazing game or anything like that, but it's, I don't know, for those of us who like this series and these games, it's kind of neat to see them come together for once. But unfortunately, the creators of the Mr. Driller series are no longer at Bandai Namco, I believe. So I don't know if we'll ever see another Mr. Driller. I asked Okay, that's tricky. Let's see. What do I want to do here? I interviewed, you know, the director or designer of the original Mr. Driller games, and this one, Mr. Yoshizawa, back like 10 years ago, and said, "Hey, you ever going to do more Mr. Driller games?" Oh, that was not the right thing to do. And he said, "You know, I think that the DSiWare game did everything we wanted to do, so there's not really any point to it." Alright, so the trick here, I'm going to trap that thing. Oh, no, I'm going to trap myself. Oh, bad news. That did not go as planned. I was not really thinking ahead there. But I'm pretty close to the bottom, so it would be really sad to die horribly at this point. Anyway, there were no plans for further Driller games, so I'm very happy that they are at least reviving this game for Switch. I would be okay with them using that as sort of like a test bed for future Driller games, but I think it's probably an overly optimistic hope. Alright, what's the thing to do here? Ah, that's the thing to do here. Okay, great. Whoa. That almost went very poorly for me. Alright, just one more of those statues to get, and I can call it a day. And I think with that one, I can probably just drill down in between. Yes, alright. I beat it. One life to spare. Excellent. So Jeremy Landry in the chat says, "I wouldn't want another Mr. Driller unless a significant gameplay addition is added. There's not really much difference you could add other than skinning it." And yet here you are, watching this game, which is the proof that that's not true. There's so many different adventures you can create out of this. Like, this Drindy Adventure is like no other Mr. Driller mode. And we're going to jump into Whole of Druaga next, which really... Well, I guess... No, let's not do Horror Night House yet. This is it. This is one of many games Namco created that took the Tower of Druaga concept and did something new with it. There was also, I want to say Lufia had something that was kind of inspired by the Ancient Cave, was kind of inspired by Druaga, and then one of the Baten Kaitos games had something that was inspired by Druaga. So they really love that Druaga. But this is another series, another mode where you do not have a timer, you do not have an air limit. Instead, you play as Anna, the number 2 driller in the world. Okay, so this is a little bit like Drindy Adventure, except that the blocks do vanish when they combine, so that adds a little uncertainty to it. But you collect these gems, and the gems will give you power-ups that you... Okay, so there's a map. Okay, so this is a jump gem, and that will allow me to move... Okay, so normally you can climb one space. A jump gem will let you climb 2 at a time. So that's good. And as you can see, you can find the little tokens of RPG-ness. There's an HP meter. Oh, right, okay, so the way this works is that every time you drill, you lose a hit point. That's the reminder that I was forgetting. And of course you have little critters, little slimes. I'm sure there are black slimes later that shoot electricity. You do not hold your drill out in front of you like a sword, unlike in Druaga. So in this one, it actually really works to your advantage to pay attention to the large blocks, so that things will... Oh, that didn't work out very well. So you can economize your actions and destroy as many blocks as possible, clear things away with as few moves as possible. So anytime you can let block connections and gravity do the work for you, it's good to do that. And then, usually midway through each stage, you'll find an exit. You have to kind of travel back and forth until you can find the key. It's very challenging, actually. I don't know that I've ever beaten this mode, but it's neat. I like it. So that little guy is just going to hang out over there. Oop, and attack. And I stood on top of it and killed it. That was a showboating effort. Okay, so here is a door, and I probably should have paid a little more attention to what I was doing. Oh, it looks like I can't go this way. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright. So I made it through the door. Alright, so things are already getting a little tricky. Like, when I grab that air, if I don't immediately move left and drill through some blocks, then the sword block above the air, the potion, will fall and create a barrier. So the only way through will be to break through the sword barrier, which will burn through all the air that the potion restores. But I can't get too carried away, because then I will move into the space where that little knight down there is attacking things and making a mess of the stage. Let's see. So from here I'm going to want to go down. Alright. Take that, buddy. Oh no! This seems really bad. Oh. So their attacks take away my hit points, which also double as air. Kind of stuck here, but you know, it's like an RPG, it's a battle. And that is a destroy yellow blocks. So if I use that, I will clear away a whole bunch of yellow blocks, which will cause things to chain react, so let's do that. Hopefully that's not going to bring a bunch of bad guys down on my head. You never know. So this should give me access to a bunch of gems, which is very good. Destroy yellow, and a change green, which will turn, I believe, a bunch of different blocks into green blocks. And then if you chain that with a destroy green, for example, you will be able to clear out a whole bunch of blocks by creating green blocks and then destroying them. I would like that error. Okay. So now they're destroy red and destroy red. So I've got a pretty good inventory here. I'm going to use this HP 1% because that's really useful. And my controller is rumbling, so I think that means there's something hidden near me. Yes. Can't wait to feel that with what did they call it on Switch? The HD rumble? Yes, that'll be amazing. Alright, so what's the best way for me to move through here? I think I'm going to break this, and that will cause all the green to go away. Again, if you're just joining the stream, hello, I'm Jeremy Parrish. This is a morning Famicoffee stream. I'm playing Mr.DrillerDrillLand for a Nintendo GameCube. My GameCube is finally up and working again. The last time I hosted a morning stream was back when my GameCube was working at the time. That was like 3 years ago. Okay, so this wizard looks like he is creating sword blocks. Is that what he's doing? Alright, he is just a jerk. So we're gonna scoot on past. Although he seems to be following me. Gotta change red block. Anyway, Mr.DrillerDrillLand came out for GameCube in 2002, but only in Japan. We got robbed here in the US. But it's coming out on Switch in English next month, I believe. So get hype. This is a very good game. If you like Mr. Driller, this takes the fundamental concepts of Mr. Driller and really juices them up. Oh, and it looks like I get instant hit point up, health up for killing the wizards. So that's good. That's all the more reason to kill them. Nobody likes the wizards. Anyway, as for the GameCube that I'm running this on, a big problem I had with my GameCube was that I had it sent off to National Console Support to have it modded with a region switch so I could play American games. It was a Japanese orange GameCube. So I could play American games in addition to... okay, I found the key there. In addition to playing Japanese games, I could play American games. And when they modded it, I don't know what they did, but they broke the digital out port. So it would no longer work with the component cables, only with, you know, composite and S-video. And since my whole system is set around RGB video and high definition, like high quality video, that was very frustrating, but it took me forever to get it repaired. And by the time I actually got it repaired, it was Jacob Proctor, Rithmildor, was kind enough to fix it for me, but by that point, the disk drive had died. So I had the disk drive replaced with the GC Loader optical drive emulator, and Power Up Gaming in Chicago was kind enough to install that for me. And then it was just a so this, I've kind of trapped here. So this is where you want to use one of the change blocks. So I'm going to change a bunch of stuff to red and try to clear away as much as possible. So instead of breaking through those sword blocks and wasting oxygen... Whoa! What? Oh, I can't believe it. That was not supposed to happen that way. Alright. Anyway... Don't play like me, kids. Anyway, yeah, so once I got the GameCube set up, it took a little while for me to figure out how to get the video to be compatible with my streaming system, which is why yesterday night's stream didn't happen. But I sorted it out, and here we are. Oh, whoops, I meant to put the drill to the side. Here we are, playing Mr.DrillerDrillLand. A good time is guaranteed for all. Go ahead and break that block for me, buddy. Thanks. You're a pal. Oh. Well, this isn't going well. Time for me to use some of this oxygen I've been holding. So anyway, the whole point of me getting this GameCube system set up was literally to be able to play and stream this game, so I'm glad it's finally happened. It took way too long, but it's happened, and life is good again. And that is why I couldn't wait until next week to do this stream. I had to do it this morning. So thanks for those of you who are joining me here in the morning, or more likely in the evening your time, because you're probably not based in the US. No, it wasn't fast enough. Poor Anna. Stuck with a bozo like me. There we go. Ah. Wow, that seems dangerous. That's a gigantic dragon. Alright, let's figure out a strategy here. I guess I should, I don't think I've ever actually beaten one of the dragons before. So I've got stone, search, jump, speed. Speed will be good. Max out my HP. Alright, so when you use a tool like speed, as you can see at the bottom of the screen where it says 50, I have 50 moves at which I will be boosted in terms of speed. I wish I had a shield ability here, but I do not. I could use Destroy All, and I feel like that's probably not a good idea. So let's move along. If you've played Mr. Driller Drill Till You Drop on DSiWare, this mode will seem familiar. This is called Dristone mode. Whoa! Let's see where this could be dangerous. Yeah, he's gonna cause stuff to fall, isn't he? Yep. Okay, so I just have to take it a turn at a time and avoid falling objects from above. Oh, that's not avoiding objects from above. Don't kill me, dude. I'm so close. Got that key right there, right next to you. Right, I think one more hit should do it. Oh, no! That is so uncool. Alright. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. And now, what do I have to do? I think I have to warp back to the beginning. That's not it. But how do I do that? Oh, I guess I should have read the instructions. I don't actually know. Yikes. Well, I blew it, folks. I beat the dragon, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do from here. So let's see. My inventory, the key does not show up. Okay, warp. That should be what I need. There we go. Okay. Now the question is, can I actually get anywhere before I die? And the answer is probably no. This is an ignominious end. Oh, I'm so close. Look at that. Let's see. 1, 2. There's actually no way for me to get that potion before I run out of air. That is very sad. Well, you almost saw me finish this mode, but then you didn't. So imagine someone who was a little better at dodging falling boulders playing this, and you could see how amazing this game is. One more hit, that's gonna kill me. Oh, sorry, Anna. I let you down. Well, anyway, that's the whole of Druaga. If you can avoid the dragon's falling boulders, you can beat the stage. So I think we got the idea. Anyway, that's cool. Oh crap, and yes, you guys are telling me to use my stones. I'm like sitting here telling you the strategies of this game and then not actually using them myself. I got frazzled. It's like playing a roguelike. You get all stressed out and you forget your basic tactics, and then you remember, oh wait, I had a genocide scroll in my inventory. I could have killed everything. Alright, well, anyway, let's go back to the stage map. We'll do a quick jump into Horror Night House before I call it a day. Alright, let me see if I can remember. Okay, this is a Taru's level because he's spooky, and it's spooky. And I do not remember what the point of this one was. Okay, so I think I have to... man, I honestly don't remember what this stage is about. Oh, that's it. Yes, okay. I inject holy water into blocks. Well, let's start over. Shall we? Yes, let's do that. Okay. Once again, so there is a little bit of a rush element to this one, because you are trying to inject holy water into blocks before these ghost things get you. Oh, take that, buddy. You are... oh, I guess I have to kill it while it's frozen. Okay. I guess all that bragging was for nothing. Whoop. Got smart at me. Although, as you can see, that's not too difficult. Alright, but I will wait till he's right next to me, and then, there we go. I get a gem for it. Very exciting. Although, he's coming after me. Well... okay, so it looks like I have to collect an X number of dristles, those red gems that appear when I kill a ghost. Well, I messed that up. Okay, so it's a race against time to get those guys. Oops! Ooh, that was an extremely bad idea. If I had hit B, I would have been fine, but I panicked. So I inject holy water into blocks, destroy the blocks, while the ghosts are inside of them, and they give me bonuses. There we go. Okay. I've got the rhythm. But I assume it's going to get harder and harder to actually acquire the holy water. Oh, looks like this is the usual third stage bonus level, where everything's easy and straightforward. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh, no! I'm not sure if there's a... okay, so it looks like, unlike in other driller games, it's not actually bad to drill through these blocks that don't absorb. because they're actually wards that will hold away the demons. So, yeah, this one's a little abstract, but I think I'm getting the hang of it, and it's kind of neat. It's the technical term, neat. So I just need to kill one more of those guys, and I can move along. So, there we go. So this is like Castlevania, except it's really not. It's not anything like Castlevania. Oh. What am I doing? The thing where you're like freezing ghosts is actually a little Pac-Man-ish, I guess. Alright, now I wait for that guy to come over, and two birds with one stone. Ghosts with one holy water. Yes. Oop. Ah, whoa, I messed up really badly. So many ghosts got me. Alright, I need to get two more. And then I can move along. But I'm armed with holy water, so it should be no trouble. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so it looks like I beat Holy or Horror Night House. And I think that wraps it up for this Mr.DrillerDrillLand stream. It's 9:15. I usually start my workday at like 8 a.m., but slacked off a little, so I'll have to work longer tonight to make up for it. But thanks everyone who took the time to watch and came this morning and did cool stuff. I don't know if you were doing cool stuff. I was doing cool stuff. I was playing Mr.DrillerDrillLand. This game is great. So yeah, this will be out on Switch, I want to say, next month, or maybe that's in Japan. But at some point, I'm pretty sure it is coming here. I could swear. I have no idea who these people are. Anyway, look forward to playing it in English. It is definitely the pinnacle of Mr. Driller. I have stuff. I have money. I have belongings. Wow. So amazing. Alright, thanks for watching. I will be back next Monday with another Nintendo. Famicoffee is a sometimes treat. But thanks to those of you who joined me for this. I'm going to go eat some breakfast now and get to work. Good night. No, sorry. Good day. Yes, good day to you, sir.